did you watch AEW Dynamite?
Yeah. Do you, Joe?
Yo.
Do you put a little bit of this on the main show and then the rest on Patreon so they have to go there?
Yeah. It all goes up on
Okay,
Patreon first, unedited and ad free, and then the show gets little sprinkles,
Okay.
Okay, so Dynamite averaged 846,000 viewers, but I wanted to tell you guys
what's that compared to last week?
Down 5.4% from last week, lowest audience since July 12th.
And the week before that was lower than the week before that, correct? Like, look at it.
Well, it's kind of. I mean, the WWE is just kind of like dominating the ratings these days.
So July 26th was 898. Oh wow, it's gone down 3 weeks running. July 19th was 953. July 26th was 898. August 2nd was 894. Last night was 846.
Plus two. Did you see what? Did we talk about the Collision rating?
Nope.
Collision was terrible.
No, what was it?
Like 398,000.
Oh yeah, it was like the third worst ever, right?
Okay, but here's my point. This is like what I've said about you. Now you know exactly where they stand going forward. They're going to do fine on nights that there are UFC pay-per-views on. Okay, because the pre-show and on the West Coast, the pay-per-view is over by the time that the other show starts. You can catch Collision. Like you're not really going to miss anything. With Collision, it's a pay-per-view zone because you're going to watch a pay-per-view, but you're not going to really miss Collision. You can see both. They're not going to do well against fight nights where they're both on at the same time, and one's on ESPN and one's on the other thing, but where there's more quality, higher level fights on the fight nights than there are on the pre-shows, right? Mm-hmm. And they're just going to get squashed by the WWE pay-per-views. I mean, like literally half the audience watch a WWE pay-per-view instead of a Collision. Right. So that's and that's that's problematic. That once a month you're going to lose half your audience on that show. Because of WWE.
And not that.
Well, they don't run.
Not just that. Disco. What's about to come around the corner?
Football.
College football.
They're
dead.
Bro, those Saturday night ABC games.
Yeah, they're great.
Bro, you got Georgia versus Tennessee, and you're going to watch Collision. Right. Be like number 1 versus number 3. Hey, let's watch.
And
Collision.
then what's right around the corner of college football?
Yeah.
Pro football.
Yep. Yeah, and they also Saturday night stuff too. So.
I wanted to read this to you because I thought you guys would find it interesting. It's short.
Yep.
It's just from the Observer last week. It says Sportico did a business story on AEW, and there's a few notable nuggets. The first is that sports bankers they talked with said that if AEW as a company was put up for sale today, it would go for more than $1 billion. The other is that Tony Khan $1 billion.
$1 billion
is the worth of the company according to Sportico. And Tony said AEW was started with $100 million capital investment. So if that's the case, $100 million investment is now worth $1 billion. I'm not kissing Tony, but I'm saying that for all the negative,
you got to put them over. That's great.
Yeah.
If that's accurate, that's incredible. You got to give him his flowers.
Well, wait a second. That's $100 million up front, but have they invested? Have they put more money into it since that first initial investment? I mean, the fact it's worth $1 billion right now is because they have 3 shows. When they first started, they had 1, and they got some YouTube shows. So, whatever is worth off the bat, the value's kind of like at least double.
How many shows do they have right now? 3?
They got three shows. Yeah, and they started with 1. So that's like of course
that's $300 million per show, kind of. Yeah. $3.5 million.
Well, you probably figured Dynamite's probably 5. The other one's like probably 3, and Rampage is probably 2. So